Several changes and additions are happening to the ICC rules across formats. We talk about the changes. There has been a modification in the boundary catch rule. Then there have also been some new additions to the concussion sub protocols. Obviously, the 2-ball rule in ODIs. And now, what if I tell you that there's going to be one more addition from the World Test Championship cycle of 2027, that there is going to be permanent 4-day test matches from that particular cycle. So these are some of the things that have been reported by Guardian here, that there are going to be 4-day test matches from the 2027 World Test Championship cycle, and they are going to be limited to the smaller nations here, case in point being Sri Lanka, South Africa for that matter, who play a lot of 2-match test series there. And just to make sure that they play more number of test matches, ICC under the leadership of Jay Shah here, they are thinking to make 4-day test matches a mandatory thing in test cricket. So secondly, India, England and Australia, despite all the changes that could take place from 2027, they would still play 5-day test matches. So in case of India, England and Australia, they play each other pretty often, almost in every World Test Championship cycle. The Border Gavaskar Trophy, the now Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. So in that particular case, the 3 teams here, the big 3 that they are known for, they would still continue to play 5-day test matches. And why this is going to be the latest plan that ICC have manufactured here? Well, ICC feel that this would help smaller nations play more number of test matches, like in case of Sri Lanka, South Africa, New Zealand, West Indies for that matter. More often than not, they play only a 2-match series with the likes of Big 3 and even amongst themselves. So just to make sure that there are more number of 4-day matches, they can still play a proper 3-match or a 4-match series there, and that would just be beneficial for them in a particular World Test Championship cycle. And secondly, it's going to be proper effective schedule and cost management for such smaller nations. So in case of both South Africa, Sri Lanka, it's very tough for them to organize a proper 3 or a 4-match series, assuming all matches last a total of 5 days. And that's where, if there are more number of 4-day test matches, then they can schedule a proper 3-match or a 4-match series, and that can still be conducted within 3 to 4 weeks. There can still not be a longer gap between test matches. Let's just take an example of India versus England here. Well, India are going to play the first test from June 20th until June 24th. And after that, there's going to be a proper 7 to 8 day break. After the third match also, there's going to be a proper big break here. But now, if there are more number of 4-day matches, then the break can actually be reduced. It can probably last up to about 3 or maximum 4 days. And then the test action can resume. Now let's take a look at, the exhaustive report of Guardian here as to what they reported about ICC's reported planning that is actually going place. That several smaller teams are reluctant to host 5-day test matches. A move to 4-day test would enable a 3-game series in 3 weeks. And that's what we just had a discussion in the conversation that we are just having. And moving on, they also mentioned about South Africa's point here, that South Africa's threadbare itinerary, the schedule, despite winning the World Test Championship, has also highlighted the issue and could lead to a change. And what is South Africa's threadbare itinerary here? Well, after winning the World Test Championship cycle, South Africa are going to be on the road here. They have multiple test series across subcontinent, but then the most striking part here is that South Africa will next play a home test match in October 2026. So no home test match for South Africa from now until September 2026. And just to make sure that there are more number of home test matches and at the very same time longer series, the smaller nations could be granted the permission to play more number of 4-day test matches. Now, if that really happens, and obviously, we are going to debate about that a little later, probably myself and Harshit, will have a detailed discussion on this. But if that really reduces to 4-day test matches, let's say the likes of Sri Lanka, New Zealand, all of them, they play more number of 4-day test matches so that they can have a longer series, 3 or 4 matches. Do you really think it's going to be a level playing field in World Test Championship? Let's say India, England and Australia, they are playing more number of 5-day matches. And on the other hand, the smaller nations, they are playing 4-day test matches, although the series can still be longer. Do you still think it could be a level playing field? Well, you can let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for all the exciting updates and analysis from the sporting world. Until then, on behalf of my producer Shashwat, it's Siddharth Gulati saying goodbye.